Good evening. My name is Arnout Van Vaerenbergh, and together with Pieterjan Gijs, I have a design practice we call Gijs Van Vaerenbergh. We both studied architecture together, and when we graduated, we didn't want to run a normal, traditional design practice. We wanted to make a practice where we combined traditional architectural projects with projects that where we could have a more proactive approach on architecture, meaning that we could be the initiators of the project ourselves. Today I'm going to talk about 3 projects where we initiated ourselves. It means that we felt an opportunity, we felt an opening where we could do something, where we could create something that could add a new meaning to the place and that could change the place. When we thought about it, afterwards, we could subtract 4 steps that we took every time when we initiated a new project. The first step is to make a really good image of this project, just to use in the following steps. Second, we had to identify the actors that could help us because we started it all up, and we would surround us with these actors to realize the projects. Then we would, with the help of this image, we could convince these actors, and afterwards we could document the project and separate and put one image of the final result next to the image of the initial ID. There's a very interesting relationship between the 2 of them. The very first project I'm going to present to you is called Spin-Off. We did it in 2008 in Brussels. During the course of 2 days, we put 2 cherry pickers next to each other on both sides of the streets, and they started to perform a ballet, a kind of spectacle where the people in the street were the spectators. So this was a way of us interacting with the public, but we used these very conventional machines to do this. And in doing so, we made kind of forms like an archway to the city or a spider-like figure. A second project we did, or we initiated ourselves, is the Upside Dome in Leuven. It's a remarkable Baroque church, remarkable in 2 ways. There's actually, it's used as a normal church, but also it's used as a public space for a lot of cultural activities like ballet or expositions. But it's also remarkable because it has never been finished. So what you see right here is a wooden ceiling where normally the dome would have been built. They never realized it or they never finished it because there were construction problems. So what we proposed was to make a new dome. We wanted to do this with the chain line. That's the same concept Gaudi used to make models for the Sagrada Familia. And we would like to make a new dome, a hanging dome, an upside dome. So it's actually the mirror figure of the dome that has never been realized. This was the image we made of our ID, and this was the result, so it's quite the same. The installation itself is built with 200 meters of steel chains, very heavy when you're standing under it, but on the other side, when you're standing farther away, it's really light, it's really transparent. And that's something we often try to do in our projects, that you have a different view or a different feeling about the installation when you're on a different position itself. Okay, the third project, the last project we initiated ourselves is Skylights. We first wanted to do this in Brussels, but it got cancelled. And so now, 2 years later, we're just moving it to Leuven, a city nearby, and in 2 weeks it will be realized. This is the image for Brussels. The concept is actually very easy. It's we take an existing construction crane and we attach a very big battery of lamps on it, so we can make a skylight. We can light up the public space. This is the image for Leuven. So right now we're building it up. This is not yet finished. We're building it up, and in 2 weeks it will be open for public. The last project I'm showing you is actually an exception because it's a project that we didn't initiate ourselves, but that we did on demand of Z33 House for Contemporary Art, right here, situated right here in Hasselt. It's called Reading Between the Lines, and we opened it last year, 20 kilometers from here. So what it actually is, it's a construction that's standing in a surrounding of the very rural surrounding of Borgloon. 30 tons of steel, 2,000 columns. It's just standing there. We use the stacking of these steel plates to transform the design of a church into a very light and transparent piece of art. Thanks for your attention.